What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 13 of Buckets of Duckets. I am your host, Chase Myers. Over there is my co-host, the one, Joshua Watts.
Oh! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 13. For a lot of people, that is an unlucky number. And if you're a fan of this podcast, it's a very lucky number for you because you're about to get a fire-ass episode. But if you're Conor McGregor, 13 is the amount of bones Chase is going to break in your body when your bitch ass answers your email. How about that?
How
America?
about that? We start with 13.
How about that, America?
All right. Every email I don't get back from you, I add another bone.
It's the same amount of pounds you weigh, you whiny little bitch.
I feel it, dude. Let's put it out there. Oh, man, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google. Pick up the album at whatever convenience store you're at. It's right by the register. Check it out.
Cracker Barrel, we're by the door right underneath the Alan Jackson CDs. It'll be episode 13.
We had to pay a lot for that spot as a prime spot.
A whole lot. Yeah,
dude. I saw a guy.
I had to eat so many old Cracker Barrel waitresses' asses to get our CD in there. It's crazy.
Yo,
I mean, it was great, but
some of them Cracker Barrel ladies though can get it. Look,
dude,
this is
all of them can if they put our CD out.
It's a very white trash story I'm about to tell you. I was in a Waffle House one time, and the dude walked in and he had
never been to one.
Really?
No,
hey, no way. If you had, you should, like, I would have believed you were born in a Waffle House if you had. Really, never been to one. I'm in a Waffle House, just doing Waffle House things, just trying to sober up. And this old country man comes walking in, Wrangler jeans. He has a belt around him, and the belt is full of Alan Jackson pictures. It's just all country musician Alan Jackson, just all around it, like bedazzled.
Just pictures of him on a belt.
Pictures of him on a belt. Yeah, not like it's a nicely made belt, like. Not like pictures are like taped to it or anything weird like that. It's a different kind of weird. It's a kind of weird where somebody set out to make a belt with a country music person's face built to the belt. Oh, it was 100% on purpose. I probably have it in like an old Dropbox account or something. I bet I could find it. But yeah. He fit in great. Like, people were looking at me like, what's up with that weirdo over there? Like, where's his fucking Alan Jackson?
Why is he looking at the Alan Jackson belt like he doesn't know what it is?
Yeah. So I went in there with my Garth Brooks boots the next time, and they accepted me as one of their own.
You just hid in them like a sheep in like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yep. I just want
Did you fight anybody?
You can't go to Waffle House and not fight somebody. Like, you got to fight to enter the place. Like, I walk in with a knife in one hand and just a bag of diarrhea in the other, and I'm just spinning it around, and I'm just taking on whoever wants it, bro. That's the type of energy you got to go into Waffle House with. And then I watch a lady smoke a cigarette and make me an omelet. It's pretty great.
I love when they smoke while they're making your food.
I request it. I make sure. I would like the hash browns.
Can you ash in that?
Smother with cheese.
I want ash browns.
A little ash right on top.
I was at the Waffle House in Walker, and I was on a date with a girl that I was trying to impress, obviously, so I took her to the Waffle House.
Dude, no better place.
This is after the date. Like,
let's say something, though. Where we're from, that is the place you bring them. that is where you go.
If you're going to try to finger somebody on a date, you better take them to the Waffle House first. So I take this girl we go out on a date. It goes great. Like, everything's going great. We're at the Waffle House, like, I'm drinking coffee like I'm classy. I'm 17 or 18. I'm trying to be classy.
Drinking it black?
I'm drinking coffee. Yeah.
You drink like a man. That's right.
That's what I thought you had to do. I didn't like it then, but I just did it.
Yeah.
I was trying to get my dick wet, so I
did it. Yeah, drink that man coffee.
Date was going great. It was a girl I'd liked for a while and had like a little trouble asking out, and finally got around to doing it. We went out, and this is our first date. And a lady comes into the Waffle House, asks to use the bathroom, and they tell her the bathroom is for customers only. So she says, "I want 2 eggs," and then walks over walks over to a booth, stands up, and shits inside the booth.
Oh,
Shits in the booth, and then walks out.
whoa. Why even order the eggs? You ordered the eggs so you didn't have to shit in the booth. Like, that was the part of it. It's like, hey, let me have eggs. Now I can go to your bathroom. Now you got somebody in the
Yeah,
midst.
you're exactly where
Yeah,
I was. That's
you
no, I thought the same thing.
and now you got somebody in the midst of making you eggs and looking over and like like what I'm gonna call it Shelly. Like, Shelly, your eggs are almost up, and Shelly is shitting in a stall. and,
And
and do you
she
remember there
like
was like,
said, I want eggs. Fine, then make me some eggs. And she walked over to the booth and just started shitting like immediately. But there was like 4 other booths, and she went to the one right next to me and the girl that I was on a date with. And
look, you gotta have proper public shitting etiquette, okay? We all know you skip 2 booths
come
in
on, lady.
between. If there's a look, I'm all about shitting in public, okay? If there is a just you gotta be polite about it. If there's a table, especially on a date, you don't know what's going on. 2 booths and
Exactly.
shit. All right.
Just yesterday, I shit in front of a family in an Arby's in a booth, but I skipped. It was the family, another
Right.
family, a blank booth, me taking a huge diarrhea dump.
And that's what social distancing is. Exactly.
You're welcome. It
Exactly.
was in
Did you
Walker.
say it right there?
It was the Waffle House in Walker, and like I feel like if you don't know Louisiana,
How
just know that me saying it was in the town of Walker would make anybody from Louisiana go, "Oh yeah,
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 everybody's okay with this. Like
yeah."
the setting of where the story takes place makes the story make sense.
On the sign, whenever you're coming in from the interstate, you know the sign that's like food, bathroom, whatever. The Waffle House, it has a picture of like the Waffle House, the McDonald's, whatever. But the Waffle House inside, like it's a picture. You know the Waffle House logo looks like a house, and inside the house in the window is just a stick figure taking a shit on a booth, just to warn you that that's what you're about to. That's what you're about to get. Is
to be
this little
fair,
stick figure shitting on a
they
booth.
do warn you. They do cover themselves for sure.
Yeah, because I told the manager, I was like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And he's like, "Did you not drive? You drove here, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's on the sign, bro.
Oh, sign,
This
man.
can happen any
It's
day.
right
This is
there.
Walker."
It's right
And
there.
then when I looked
Uh,
down, that manager was taking a shit right then. When I looked down, he was taking a shit right then. He's like, "See."
how so? How immediate was the recognition of what was happening? Did she like go over to the booth and people were like, "I know that bitch ain't about to shit in that stall," or did she like pants down, it's done, and then people were
She
like, "Oh my
shit.
god."
She shit, pulled her pants up, and walked out before anybody said anything. Like nobody said anything. It was just like everybody was just shot. Like, is this lady just shitting in a Waffle
that
House in the
that
booth?
almost makes me believe she could have just walked into the bathroom and nobody would have said anything.
Easily.
Like, yeah.
It was 1999, so there was nobody was cell phone videoing it. We were all just like, "Are you fucking seeing?" Like we just had to make sure that everybody else in the Waffle House was seeing
Right.
it. Like, hey, she's look at this. What is she doing? And the date had gone great, right? But you can't be on a date and have a woman shit in the booth next to you in a Waffle House and then not talk about it on the car ride home. And I
I mean,
talked about it like a
that's all
lot,
you ever talk
like a
about.
lot.
How could you what else is there to talk about? This is where the evening is now.
Well, according to my date at the time, that was not the case. And to this day, I have never spoken to her since.
I mean, I think y'all said
Your
all y'all needed
loss.
to say to
Look
each
at
other.
that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I hope one day, just in years down the road, we're out at a park somewhere and I'm with my family and I look up across the field where the leaves are autumn leaves are blowing and I see her and she's with her family and she's happy and she's healthy and we look at each other and we acknowledge each other and then that lady from the Waffle House runs right into the middle of that field and just shits right in between us.
Again?
What?
What? We can't be near each other. Whatever it is about the two of us brings this lady's demon shit out. She appears and starts shitting wherever the two of you are.
The worst part of that was she thought that me
I love
talking
there's a
about the
worst
lady
part.
she thought that me talking about the lady that shit in front of us in a Waffle House in the middle of a restaurant was the weirdest thing. But like a week before, she wrote me like a note, like a love letter that was in German. because her family is from, and she thought it was romantic. German's not a romantic language anyway,
No,
so
not at all.
no disrespect to Germans. You got your language, you do your thing,
Yo,
but
little disrespect
it's not
over here,
romantic.
bro. Change that shit, all right? You ever thought about that? You ever
Sound
thought
more
about
French
a
or whatever. We
you
be
ever
more
thought about
French.
a
Sound
softer
more romantic.
sounding? Yeah, French. That's romantic. Get some Spanish.
French
in
sounds
there,
good.
yo.
French people sound good. Spanish people sound amazing.
German,
And
work on your
Germans
stuff.
just sound like they're coughing. But like, she wrote me a letter in a foreign language, and I just graduated high school. She knows I can't read it. There's not Google. What am I gonna go home and look this up in an encyclopedia?
Yeah, right. What type of yeah? You got to find a German to English dictionary to decode this 16-year-old's fucking letter.
I'm gonna find that letter one day, and I'm gonna Google translate it, and it's gonna be like, I can see the future. We're gonna be on a date in a Waffle House, and a lady's gonna shit in the booth next to us.
That's why she wasn't
I'm
so.
like,
She's like, I
"Oh!"
told you this was gonna happen. It was normal to her.
That's why she was mad, because I kept talking about it like
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna happen.
Yeah. Like, this guy doesn't listen at all. Guys never listen. How much more obvious can it be? I wrote you a letter in German. Jesus.
You stupid asshole.
One time, I've told this story on stage. I think you're gonna know this story when I start. But whenever I was in like junior high, I wanted to be like cool guy, so I told everybody I smoked weed. You know what I'm saying? And I just spoke it into existence. Eventually, I became cool guy that smoked weed.
I used to just pretend I was high sometimes at school. Like, I'd go up to people and be like, "Hey, man, like,
I'm so fucked
right?
up right now, bro."
Between
Like,
fourth period and fifth, and just now, I got high somehow."
my 11-year-old self is fucking tanked, bro. Fucking flying with hawk nuts up here,
Those
bro.
fruit snacks were edibles.
Bro. My cousin's 23, bro. He gets me high whenever I want.
I just gotta page him, and then he comes over.
I'm in junior high. I got a little girlfriend. You know, your boy's always been the same, and I'm not gonna acknowledge it. I want the people on the podcast to be confused of what I just even brought that to. No, you get nothing. I'm in junior high, dating a girl.
No sell.
Dating a girl. No, I'm no selling this like crazy, bro. Dating a girl. I tell her I fucking love weed so goddamn much, and she's like, stop smoking. You gonna ruin your life. We're children. Stop. And I'm like, shut up, you bitch. I'll do whatever I want, or whatever. Whatever.
And in 7th grade, she thought it was great to have like the boyfriend who can't stop smoking weed.
Yeah, even though I was like church guy and never smoked, like never even seen weed
Nah,
at
dude,
that
you were the
point in my
bad boy.
life, but I wanted to be bad boy, and so if you just tell people you are, some people will believe you. So I just was like, I learned very early, you can start a relationship on a lie. Let's see what happens, and so that's what I did. I'm like, look, you want to be with me?
For a while.
I'm gonna need your math homework, and you're gonna need to know I fucking blow trees. Okay, that's the two things you need to know about dating me.
I'm gonna need your math homework.
So one day I'm trying to get my Oscar, right, and I show up, and I'm in full character. I'm walking like, oh, I smoked so much weed last night. I'm still so fucked up, dude. I'm so fucked up. And she got all mad and writes me this letter about how disappointed she is, and she's like, you said you'd never do this again, and which, by the way, I never did it the first time. I never did it ever. And yeah, it's so funny how like dramatic you are at like 12 years old. Also, what's funny to me about that, like, related, I for whatever reason, I dated this girl from like 6th grade to like 8th grade. I don't know why I was like into like being in a relationship so young, but me and that girl just talking about being young and being too, like our song, we had a song, and it was Casey and JoJo's All My Life, which is
all 11 years of my life.
11 years of my life. I pray for someone like you. Yeah, that was our dramatic ass 6th grade song. I'm pretty sure we danced to it at a dance one time.
I always smoked cigarettes, and I would make sure, like, I had a girlfriend in 9th grade that hated that I smoked, so I made sure I always smelled like cigarettes. Like, I literally would blow it in my clothes so I smelled like it, or I would tell her to, like, she's like, "Can I have your coat?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's in my backpack." And when she'd open my backpack, a pack of Marlboro Reds had fallen, and I was like, "Oh, I guess you're mad at me now."
Yeah, sometimes I just wanted my life to be like Saved by the
And
Bell or
she's like,
some
"Why
kind of
can't
like.
you just be? Why can't you be a good boy? Why do you have to smoke? You're gonna ruin your life. You're throwing your lungs away." And I was like, "I don't care. I live in the now, bitch."
Yeah, yeah. So she writes me her whole "I'm disgusted with you. You're ruining your life" letter, and she's like, "Tell me what happened." And so now it's story time,
What
right?
led you to this?
Yeah,
What led
it's
you to this road?
so now it's story time, right? And I'm writing. I got a good one going. And I'm telling the whole thing about me being stressed out about some kind of family thing or whatever that I made
Did you
up.
do
And
like you should have? You know what would have been great if instead of being like a tough story, you'd be like, "My uncle, he always touches me," or like you go like real weird with it. Like I got a lot of trauma because my uncle, like, or
yeah,
my
that's
aunt
a look.
sits on my face, or make
Every
it something
time.
where she's like, where she reads the note, she's like, "Oh no, that's too much. I don't."
Uh, I'm telling her all about whatever family trauma I'm having. My aunt just won't stop hitting on me or whatever's going on,
Your
and
parents were divorced at the time.
oh, they got divorced because of me, then got back together, and then was like, because of you, we're doing this again. We got divorced twice in our lives because of you, and so I got
Because of your,
because
because
I
your drugs.
because you just won't stop being a bad boy. Okay, you won't stop
Oh
being a
God!
bad
Look
boy,
at your
and
earrings and your sunglasses.
and stop saying that stuff about your aunt. You know she never sat on your face. That's ridiculous. Stop saying that to people. Uh, and so, so I write this note. I got so fucking high. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Give her the note. She reads it in class. She gets it taken away in class, right? And the teacher
By a
doesn't.
teacher?
Yeah, and the teacher doesn't throw it away. The teacher reads it, right? And
Nosy
get
bitch.
oh yeah, mind your business, all right? What you want to know what a couple 12-year-olds are up to, all right?
Yay, that's weird. That's creepy.
That's weird. Are you gonna talk to me about civics? Then shut the fuck up, okay? How about that? That's what I come to you for. It's all civics and social studies related topics, all
That's the
right? I don't,
extent of our
I
relationship.
don't come to you for you to tell me to not do drugs, you dork, okay? I'm doing these drugs.
You narc ass dork.
Oh, narc ass dork, what you live next to Josh or something? Oh. And so I know, I see in your eyes, I know one's coming. And so gets taken away, right? Uh, and I get called to the office like 2 days later. I get called to the office, and I don't know. I guess I was just too deep.
And all that does though is make you seem like even more of a bad boy because
Oh,
they did it over the loudspeaker, right?
yes, in PE class.
And you
I
were like,
remember this.
motherfuck.
I remember this so well. In PE class, we're all sitting in the bleachers. I went to a pretty big middle school, so it's hundreds of kids in there, and they call me out, and we're all sitting for roll or whatever. And so now I got to get up and walk through everybody, and they're out there, ooh,
Like a badass.
ooh, and I'm going get fucked or whatever. I'm gonna go tell the principal to eat my dick. Watch, and I just walk.
They started crying as you were on the way there.
Yeah, the second I felt like they couldn't see me, I just okay, all right, okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. So it's just not like me. It's not in my care. My parents didn't raise me to act like that, and I just wanted to be cool. So I actually wish I would have done it that way. What I did was in my head, I was just so deep in it that I had that thing where I'm like, they're never gonna believe that I'm just lying. That I'm just, I'm just
Nope.
a weirdo trying to impress this girl with something that she doesn't want me to do. Like I don't know, like she's begging me to stop smoking this
Not a
fake
great
weed,
plan.
and I just keep being like, "No, I'm smoking the weed," and so the principal in my head, I'm like, well, I can't get in trouble. I don't have it here. I didn't have weed on me. The
Right.
note, everything in the note is like I did this at home or whatever. And so he asked me about it, and I basically kind of like retell the note that I'm like, yeah, like I was at home, and and she asked me, and I just continue with it. And he goes,
You didn't say that it was a lie. You just
no,
dude.
I just stuck to the lie.
Fucking
and
right, you did.
and so, dude, I'm going down with the ship. All right,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, and so he's like, well, there's nothing I can do, but I can't not let your parents know. Which for some reason in my head, I'd never thought about that part of it. In my head, I
Nah, it's a
thought,
different world. That's a
in my
different.
head, I thought,
They're at home.
yeah. I thought we handle this at school, man. There ain't no reason to take our business outside of this room. Like, we just a
Why
couple
you gotta
men.
call them?
All right, we just a couple men trying to handle this. All right, you gotta go bring my mom's into
I'm
this
gonna
right
call
now?
your wife. You want me to call your wife?
Oh, okay. I appreciate the way you talk to me. Let me call your wife. How about that?
Get her on the phone.
But dude, I swear to God, I thought he was gonna, because she had told me that it got taken away, so I had 2 days to kind of think of how I was gonna handle this. And in my 11, 12-year-old mind, I thought, well, there's nothing. I never had the drugs at school, so he's gonna read it. I'm gonna go, yeah, it's true, and he's gonna go, ah,
So the fuck what?
yeah, he's gonna go, ah, shucks, I thought we got you, right? And I thought that was gonna be it, and I was gonna walk out fucking with my chest out and just strutting, and no, he calls my mom. And he tells me he's gonna call my mom, but I didn't know like when he was gonna call my mom. You know what I'm saying? So I
That's the worst.
I get on the bus and I'm just like I'm giving the bus driver $100. Like, hey, can you drop me off first? Like, I need to get home. I need to get home real quick. Like, I gotta get there before my parents get home. And I go run home. This is still in the days of answering machines.
Unplug
right?
the phone.
Yeah, I open the power box and just fucking start flipping switches. Just
Dumping Slurpees in it.
Yeah. Oh, what happened? It's that damn neighbor kid came over, and I told him not to touch it, Mama. I told him, and so I come home, answer machine days. I check the answer machine. There's nothing on the answer machine about it. I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, well, that just means I need to answer the phone every time it rings tonight. I need
sitcom
to
logic.
right there. Yeah, I'm living a stupid sitcom, and so I'm staying in the living room. Normally you know me. I'm normally like to myself in my room. I'm just in my living room, standing there every time
on the counter by the phone.
Yeah, one ring. Bah! I'm grabbing. Hello? Yes? No. It's like just hanging it up. Just immediately panic. It gets to around like 8:00. I've answered 6 phone calls, and none of them were from me. None of them was a school. And finally, my parents go, "We need to talk to you." And I, for the first time during this whole process, just launch out into the truth. They didn't even tell me what they wanted to talk to me about. I just immediately went, I was just trying to be cool because some people smoke weed and I just thought it was cool to say I smoke weed, but you know I would never smoke weed. You know I would never smoke weed. I never smoke weed. And they had the note, which meant they called my mom probably the second I walked out of the office, and she came up to the school without me knowing because she's holding the note. She's telling me about and yeah, I had to do this whole like I'm telling you I would never do the whole thing. They wanted to like drug test me and shit. My stepdad was asking me like who does do drugs at school, and I'm just crying and don't know how to handle this pressure. Just it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever done. Just got myself in all kind of trouble for nothing. Literally, I did nothing. Got myself in all that.
When I was in 10th grade, I had a similar experience. A friend of mine had in his pack of cigarettes, he had a half a joint.
Uh-huh.
And this is 95. Ooh. So it wasn't like there wasn't dispensaries. So it was like, oh, fuck, let's go listen to 311 and smoke this half a joint underneath the bleachers.
Right.
And so we went underneath the bleachers and we smoked it. And then we came out and somebody told on us.
Okay.
Now, I got caught a lot for a lot of different things, but I was like 100% sure. We don't have, it's gone. So they
what
can't
could
prove
you do?
Shit. I didn't do shit. Like I ain't did shit.
The glove don't fit.
So they called all 3 of us to the office, and it was me, I don't want to I'm not gonna blow the spot up 22 years later, but 25 years later, whatever it is. God damn. My
Blow up
friend
my
Jeremy and
spot
Will,
because we both got
and
caught. I know a bit. I know
so
a
they
big
called three of
first
us
when
in the
you slide
office,
it in there.
and they thank you, and they brought this my friend Will in first, and for whatever reason, Will had porn mags in his backpack, and so they searched our bags, and so they found that he had like penthouses or whatever. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Well, you better start talking." And they just threw that down like that's
You want to tell me what this
like
is?
they got him. Yeah, like they got him. And I don't know what he said. And then they called Jeremy in, and then they called me in last. And as soon as I walked in, they were like my mic's falling down. The principal, the assistant principal was like, he goes, "Well, your friends gave you up."
They said you're the leader of this old penthouse ring.
Like just immediately, he's like, "Your friends gave you up." He said
Old
they told me
cheese-eating
that.
rats. I put a piece of cheese on the table and they just ate it up. Couldn't wait.
He said they said "fuck you" right out the gate and just. But he told me, he said, "So we know you were down there smoking marijuana or dope." I think they said dope. If I'm not mistaken,
In the
they said
90s,
dope.
they said dope.
And in our town, they definitely said dope. And I remember, like, no, I know they didn't. But then I saw the penthouse on the table.
Right.
And for a split second, I was like, "Oh fuck!" Did they get him to snitch because they found his pornos? Like they found his magazines? And like, "Hey, you either tell us." So they were like, "Well, we couldn't find it on you, so we can't, do anything. But we did notify the police, and there was a cop just randomly there, and
Cops at schools. Gotta love cops at schools.
for whatever reason, didn't shake me at all. I didn't do shit. You can't prove shit."
That's right. Ice through his veins. Ice through his
I did.
veins, Josh Watts.
I was just sure. I was like, they're not gonna throw me in prison because they think maybe, which I guess is white privilege. But I had in '95, there was no this fucking fat shit cop ain't gonna do a goddamn thing but stay there in the corner, try to make me look scary, and then go like he was. It was a like the
Like a
cop's
dare
daughter
cop?
went to our school. So yeah, he was yeah. It's not even a real cop car, you bitch. It's got a lion painted on the side. Get the fuck out of here.
Did you fucking hang out with Tony the Tiger and shit? Get the fuck from around here.
You're doing great, you fucking asshole. But then they told me, they were like, "We can't do anything to you because we don't have any proof, but we do need to call your parents, and you're going to tell them what you did." And I was like, "Oh, all right. When do we want?" And he just started dialing my home phone number, and then handed me the phone. I immediately hung it up. The first thing I did was hang it up. He handed it to me and I hung it up. And I was like, "My mom's not gonna be home right now." So, and he's like, "We'll leave a message." He picked up and redialed it, and he gave it to me. And of course, my mom answered immediately and was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Jeremy got busted with drugs at school." Like that was all I said.
They just wanted me to call you about it. I don't know why, but
I don't know what they brought me in here and wanted me to tell you. I didn't.
yeah,
You don't even know Jeremy.
I guess they arrested Jeremy. They just looking for his closest friends, but he just had a bunch of pornos and weed. He just had a bunch of drugs, and I don't know.
So
they just asked all the good kids to call their parents. So
yeah, just so you knew that we were still good kids.
yeah,
I was praying. I was at the Christian athletes meeting. So they handed me the phone and my mom answered. I was like, "Jeremy got caught with drugs," and I was there too, but I was telling him not to do it, but I don't know, Mom. And then the principal, Big D, he held up
Big D. Yeah.
Big D held up
Big D was principal there for 45 years.
He held up the magazines and like waved them at me like, "Hey, mention this too." And I was like, "And Will had some nudie magazines." And then he took the phone and was like, "We also found a pack of Marlboros in your son's backpack," which he didn't reveal until that fucking second, which is dirty on his part because that's what I did. What?
You didn't even hear my lie about it yet. What the hell? You can't.
I was so excited to get suspended though, and he knew I was. So I was like, I guess that's 3 days because I'd been in there a couple times for fighting. And I was like, I guess that's a 3-day suspension. And he's like, Big D was such an asshole. He said, no, because that's what you want, boy. You gonna come in here 3 Saturday suspensions. And I had to come in 3 Saturdays and clean the bathroom.
Damn, dude.
Ironically, I was high all 3 of those Saturdays.
How else are you gonna do it? How else are you gonna do it?
I wasn't high. I cried that I was there. I want to be home with that.
I stole whenever I like around this same time. Around the same time I was lying about doing weed. I
Some bad kids, man. We were some rad dudes.
Dude, you don't get more rad than me, all right? I'm at my uncle's house. My uncle he's cool as fuck, right? My uncle, my aunt, and they would like on Friday
Yeah, your
nights,
family parties.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. On Friday nights,
your family parties.
There was a period of time where one side of my family has came to their senses and has loved Jesus, right? And then the other side is still going strong, right? And so at this time, the Jesus side we're still equally in it, right? And so
yeah.
I'm at my dad's house and my uncle lives next door. It's one of those type of situations. Grandpa lives across the street. And so
yeah,
I would go.
We're from Louisiana.
Right, yeah. The name of the road is Martin Myers Road after like my great grandfather or something. Like everybody who lives there is related to me somehow.
Yeah.
And so uncle's having a party one Friday night, and I would be cool 12-year-old there, and they would just all be drinking and fucking playing music and dancing and shit. And it's the 90s also. It's I'm probably 11 or so. It's maybe early 2000s, and there's playboys around. There's just playboys around his house. He had
just titties everywhere.
Just on the coffee table and shit. Little playboy there. You know what I'm saying? Just had him around. And there's only so many times that I can see that and notice how many he has and do the math of he's not going to notice if 3 of them are gone, especially if I go take like the older ones, he's not going to know. And so one day I steal these playboys, right? I like literally shove them in my jeans. And my dad lives next door, right? And so I just go like, "Hey, I gotta run home right quick." Go run home with these
with
playboys.
no reason.
Yeah, with these playboys falling out of my jeans, and eventually I get them to my mom's house, right? And I do the thing. Where do you hide your playboys? Back then, where you hide them? Under your mattress. You put them under your mattress.
Yeah. In between the box spring and the mattress.
That's where they go.
That.
That's where they went. That's where everybody put them at this time. They either go there or in the woods somewhere. Like that's
in a Ziploc bag in the woods in a tree stump.
That's the weird thing about old like Playboy magazines is you could find them just on the street and out in alleys and stuff.
If you go into any woods in America right now and find a tree stump, if you look around it enough, you're gonna find a penthouse somewhere in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like Caleb loves Tori written in the tree and stuff. Like it's gonna be in 1997. It'll be if you find any engraving
Smashing Pumpkins rule
from 95 to 2005. There's Playboys around there somewhere. There's some kind of nudie mad. So I got them at my house, at my mom's house. They're under a mattress. And one day, I forget what it was. I couldn't find something in my room, and I dug around looking for it. And my mom, this is how I know she knew something. She had to know something because there's no.
They always do.
Why in the fuck would she be like, it's under your mattress? I was like, why would I put anything ever under a mattress? Why would I ever lose a thing under a mattress? Because all that time I'm spending under mattresses, why would it be there? And so she goes to lift it, and I just dive bomb right on the bed. Just, no, it's not there. I'm telling you, it's not there. She's like, get off the bed. I'm like, get off the bed. And I like get off, but I still kind of like got my leg like leaned on it a little bit, kind of pushing it down. She's like, Chase,
but there's no reason.
I'm like, why are you even looking under there? There's nothing to look on. And she's like, well, because clearly you got something under here. I'm like, oh God, I just think it's weird that you're looking under mattresses and stuff. Like, you just don't trust your son, weird. You know? And
you're being weird, Mom.
Yeah, I mean, what is this about? You know? And yeah, she pulls it out right in front of me, 3 Playboys. where'd you get them? I had stolen from my uncle and whatever. And so, and this is another, I just never think, I just always think whenever these moments happen that everything is happening in this room. It's not going to go from out here. I didn't think she was going to then call my uncle and bitch him out for leaving Playboys around for me to steal. I didn't think that far through. Like, that's
She
not
did
what.
though.
Yeah, of course she did. So now my cool uncle's mad at me. And so the next time I go over there, no shit. Next time I go over there, he goes, "Hey, you little shit. How about next time you get in trouble, don't tell on everybody." I learned so much that day. Matter of fact, dude, holy shit, I just had this connection. I forgot. So whenever I got in trouble for that note with the story I just told about being high or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm telling my cool aunt and uncle that story, and my aunt drove something home to me very early at a young age. She was like, "Don't write down the dumb stuff you do." She was like, because you can't deny it. You can't deny it once it's written down. And I was like, "Oh, you're right." I was like, I could have just told her I was high as fuck forever, and no one, like, what are you gonna do? Yeah, but
no, I didn't.
Yeah, I think about them all the time though. I learned a lot from them.
I mash named a lady today in a Winn-Dixie.
What?
Bruh.
You did
Look.
what?
My sister-in-law just got over COVID.
Uh-huh.
We thought that my kids had been exposed to it. We thought that we could possibly have it. And the fear that I got when I thought that I could be on a ventilator and lose my kids, or my kids, like, that paranoia and fear for that little time. Everybody's fine. Sister got over it. She's feeling better now. Felt like shit for a couple weeks, but she's better now.
Good.
But the paranoia and fear I felt right then has emboldened me more than my haircut has. And I watched.
I just love
lady.
that. I love that there's apparently parts of your personality that are shy. Because you're like, I got emboldened. You're the most brash motherfucker I ever met. I've never once heard you bite your tongue. You're like, well, now I'm out here just saying anything. I'm like, what the fuck were you saying before?
Let me clarify. Since quarantine, when I go to the grocery store, I don't have the kids with me, so I get real high and I put headphones in and a mask, and I don't talk to anybody or acknowledge anyone.
Yeah.
But I watched this lady. She came in and she ducked behind the donuts, like the donut thing, and took her mask off and looked around and stuck it in her pocket, and then opened up the door and leaned in and was breathing on the donuts. I am standing 6 feet away behind her waiting to get donuts for my kids. And I said, "Hey, I think you're supposed to have a mask on. You should put that back on." Right. And I said it so that she could hear me. And that was it. I just said it. And she goes, "Oh, okay." And then turned back around. And dude, I didn't even have time to think about it. She went, "Oh, okay." And I went, you're a free thinker, huh? Hey! And I just started playing. I was like, "This is the only lady in the fucking state that doesn't have to wear a mask. Look at her, huh? She's a free thinker. She's not a sheep, but look at you. You're such a fucking free thinker. Look, she doesn't even have." And then there's a manager walking by. I was like, "You a manager? She ain't wearing a goddamn mask. She took it off and put it in her pocket. Look at her. Hey!" And I was like tapping people that were walking by.
Yo.
And she started started walking away. She started like walking away, like trying to get away from me. And I was following her.
Pointing.
But I was far enough back but I was behind her going, "Hey, she doesn't have to wear a mask. Look at her. All you sheep, every other person in this store is a sheep, except for this fucking lady."
One day we'll all be like her. One day, hopefully, we'll all have her strength.
And I said, "I know some of you, like you, might be thinking she's just a selfish shithead. That's not the case.
I wouldn't think like that if I were you."
Free thinker. And dude, I was so fucking loud and made such a scene. And I was like, "Look, there's a manager, and he ain't saying shit to her not wearing a mask. That's how important she is." Like, I was drawing all of the attention.
Yeah.
And we were in the back of the store, and when she tried to walk away, she started walking forward, like towards the front of the store. And I got louder and louder and louder. And then as she was walking towards the front, she just pushed her buggy to the side and like sped out the door.
You know what she could have done is put her goddamn mask back on. That's all.
It was in her fucking pocket. It was in her fucking pocket. I watched you hide it. Uh, and I mean, dude, I was so fucking loud, and I'm. I mean, you know how much I
Yeah,
love to
I
scream,
know
and
you.
I was
I think
top of
people
my
through 13
lungs.
episodes know you too.
And this sounds like I'm making a Reddit post, but people clapped when she left.
Love it.
And then everybody clapped, and I took my shirt off, and everybody sucked my dick, and I was flexing. But she left, and and I did, usually when I say something shitty or I'm rude to people, I feel guilty about it like later on, and I feel nothing.
No, you can't, man.
I would have followed her around the whole fucking store,
At
and
this point,
everybody
you
was on
just
my
yeah.
side until I walked to the parking lot, and a guy was walking behind me to his car, and he goes, "Hey, you're a real snitch ass limp pussy," and I
How'd you react to
stopped dead in my
that?
tracks and turned around and just looked him right in his face. And he just like, he went from 6 foot to 4 foot when I looked him in his face and just went to his car. Now, I'm not saying he was afraid of that I would beat his ass. I would have, and he was. I'm not saying that was the only reason that he did that. He also did that because he knows I have no problem making a huge fucking scene
Yeah,
when I beat his
clearly.
bitch ass for saying anything.
Clearly.
You fucking snitch. Yeah, but he was real proud of himself. Anyway, wear your fucking mask. And if you're not gonna wear it, be fucking proud about it. Be bold about it. Walk in there like you're not scared. Walk in there like you got a pair of big swinging titties and be proud of it. Don't hide behind the counter like a fucking coward. Wear your mask. Wear your mask or don't, but be fucking proud of it.
You're right. You're right. Dude, yeah, people are getting
Is big
like,
swinging titties that's the thing with like big balls and big swinging titties is a thing. It is now.
oh,
If it
yeah,
wasn't.
absolutely. I hear women all the time. She's like talking to other women. She's like, why don't you tit up and get out there and stand up for yourself? It's a thing. It's a
She's got
titting
the
up.
biggest set of tits on I've ever seen. You wouldn't believe what she just said.
Titting up is a thing. For sure, it's a thing. Yeah, people are at this point. You have to say something because we're fucking 5 months in with no end in sight. Like it doesn't.
Yep.
Travis Nelson, my roommate, 6'9", the whole fucking bit. He
6'9" Travis.
yeah, he's great fucking dude. He had somebody look him up on Twitter, and he had a tweet
That's
go like,
crazy.
yeah, he had a tweet go hella viral because he had somebody, a promoter out here, reached out to him that he had a gig booked with and was like, hey, in Washington State where I'm at, we can't do live performances. They shut down any live performance, and so the person messaged him and was basically like, "Hey, we're still gonna do it. We're just not gonna advertise it. Shh, are you okay with that?" And he was like, "No." And then the person
He just
was
wrote
like,
no.
"Yeah." And the person, yeah, which is great. I'm not gonna go through like each one of his like the message and everything, but he had to tell the lady like, look, I mean, we're never gonna get to do. We're not comedy's never gonna come back if you fucking assholes are holding these secret shows and gathering people together and helping, spread the and Travis had all the right points of just like I can't expect like because the person booked it as like, oh, it's gonna go this way and we're gonna follow all the procedures or whatever, and it's like, well, how can I even trust you to fucking do that when you're willing to break the law to have the show? So like, and how can I trust the people
Dude,
in the like
exactly.
that comes to the show to do it because they're willing to come to a secret comedy show? I'm not betting that
Yep.
they're gonna be all covered up and 6 feet distancing and shit. And so yeah, he fucking let this lady have it, and he got all Twitter famous from it, and yeah, it was pretty dope.
Good.
But it's just crazy. It's just crazy the way people are reacting to this shit. I finally did. I did. We've been talking about it for a month, maybe even longer. I finally performed at Coos Bay. Finally did those shows, and let me tell
How'd
you
it go?
something. It was a goddamn nightmare, and I loved every second of it. Like
Yeah.
I was just so excited to just be just doing stand up again, and like I realized my actual like my last show before this past weekend um was in March. I didn't know that was my last show. You know what I'm saying? So whenever everything got
Right.
canceled, it did kind of feel like, man, I didn't get to like say goodbye or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so this was such a weird feeling because I'm doing 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 20-minute sets each show, and I'm like I haven't been on stage in months, and so like that's kind of got me loose because I'm like, I mean, they can't expect me to be great. I haven't been on stage in months, and then also I'm like, I don't have a show booked for the rest of my life, so who gives a fuck how this goes right now. Really, like it's not.
Who cares?
It's not like, I'm gonna have this great set and book a Tonight Show appearance off of it from this like casino in Coos Bay, Oregon or whatever. Like there's no industry watching this show. I'm just a guy at a bar
Are you sure?
trying to be funny. Well, when Chase Myers is around, usually the business is around, but
There it is.
but
There it is.
so
Chase Myers is the business.
that's right. I'm a businessman. And so I experienced everything in comedy. It was comedy has this amazing way of humbling you, and I got every single experience over those 4 shows. I had first show starts up. So this was my problem with the venue even before was like if a show like
Even before.
even before that's why I've been talking so much shit over this time is because like I didn't really enjoy it there much before anyway because like show starts at like 8 o'clock. Show starts at like I'm trying to burn this bridge. They won't let me. Show starts at 8 o'clock, and this is before and after. They don't like at 7:30 go around to all the people that are in this bar that are watching stuff and going like, "Hey, in 30 minutes we're gonna start a comedy show." And so let them know nothing. They just even fucking still, just at 8 o'clock.
The host just has to walk out there and start talking.
Just at 8 o'clock, lights go off. They start turning all the TVs off. The PA dude comes over, starts giving my credits out, and people are like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I go up on stage. My first 10 minutes is just and like normally what your just reaction was like, oh fuck it. But to me, it was like, of course. I haven't performed in 4 months, and you wouldn't tell the people that a comedy show is about to happen to them. Why not? And I'm up there, and there's like a table of old people that are like just immediately right up front. They came to talk and to be around each other and all that stuff, and they won't leave. That's what I'll never understand about comedy. While when a comedy show happens to you, especially at a venue like that,
to you.
Yes, it just because we did, that they didn't advertise it that great or whatever. I mean, they made like one announcement in the casino, but you're in a casino where there are other bars. There are other places for you to go in that casino and drink and eat and talk and the whole thing. This is the one place where we want you to shut up and listen. And that is the one place where all the talkative people want to be. And so they're just like, they're not so loud, but they're definitely not paying attention to me. Right. And then the bar is open. And at certain points during the night, like the other bars in the casino might be too full. So people will just walk into the venue and start ordering. It would be a group of 5 people walk in, full conversation, drunk as fuck, not paying attention to the show, order loud as fuck. And I'm not going to sit here and yell at every person that walks in and tell them to shut the fuck up. Like no. So you just got to deal with it. And so all that's going on. A lady comes in just in the middle of the show, just walks in the middle of the show, looks over, sees 2 of her friends, goes like, oh my God, look at you. Just in the middle, just standing in the middle of the room. Oh my God, looks at you. Go look at you. Go run over, gives them a big hug, starts talking. The whole room looks at them. I'm like mid-story, kind of talk. And I eventually, I take a couple shots. I'm not just some pushover. I'm trying to, get the room back a little bit. And
look at you old skank.
Yeah, so this old skank comes down from up there. She comes sits her old skank ass up front. And and I'm mid-story, and I'm starting to just ask her about herself. I'm like, I just crowd work. So I'm like, who are you? What's your name? The whole thing. And she, yeah, who are you? Who are you? Why do you feel like you need this attention? I said something along the lines of like needing more attention than the comedian on stage with lights on him and stuff. And and I'm roasting her, and she's like smiling. She's having a good time. She doesn't realize the damage that she's done.
They never do.
And I'm mid
going
always
at her.
Think
they're helping.
And she starts like telling me, so apparently her and her boyfriend got in a fight that night. And I'm starting to like, all right, so I'm getting more details. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to crowd work this into a joke. I'll get everybody back, bow, bow. And I start going. And then finally she like starts cutting me off while I'm talking. And I'm like, what? And she goes, I like your shoes. Because I was wearing Yeezys, and she was like, I like your Yeezys. And I was like, yeah, pretty fucking great. Why don't you sit there and look at them? That's all I need you to do. And then I said something along the lines. I was like, actually, you're very smart because you knew how to like calm me down because I was ready to yell at you for interrupting me, but then you complimented my shoes, and that's the way to my heart. So actually, we're okay.
Yep.
And then she watched like 2 more seconds. She told me, she was like, "Yeah, those people." Because I was like, "Hey, who are those people that you started yelling at?" And she was like, "Those are some of my greatest friends or whatever." And so I made some joke. I was like, "Those are your best friends because they're hiding under the table over there." And so kind of made that fun.
Right.
All right. After the show, in between shows, I'm sitting there. Old couple that was sitting on the table come up to me and go, "Man, you were really good. That was impressive. Like, cause that was a tough crowd. Like people were, all kind of talking and not paying attention." And I just smiled and said, "Yeah, thank you." But in my head, I was yelling, going like, "You were the tough crowd. You were the ones not paying attention, having a conversation that were making me jump through all those
Yeah.
hurdles to try to get you goddamn attention." And that is every experience I have ever had in that room. It went that way. Second show, a little bit better. It's fine. Next day, Saturday, UFC is having their pay-per-view that day. So they're playing the UFC fight in the in the bar that I'm gonna perform at. The fight's going on. I taped everything, by the way. I have all of this on film. I'm gonna put it together and do a little
Yes.
YouTube video for the
Yes.
Buckets of Duckets page.
Yes.
And I have every show recorded. I recorded, like, I just did a little vlog thing basically. And so I start setting up my camera, and I could see these guys kind of looking around like, what's going on? It seems like because the lights kind of dimmed, and then and I kind of look over. I'm like, "Yeah, we're doing a comedy show. We got a show at 8 and 10 o'clock." And the table goes, "Well, fuck, I'd rather watch the fight." Like, to me. That's what they say to me. And I go like, "Ah, all right, well, fuck me, right?" And
Yeah, get fucked.
yeah, and so they turn it off. I can hear the moan in the crowd of everybody like, "Ah, fucking," and then I go up there
Boo!
because they don't like. To me, the way you handle that is you never play that fight in that bar. You just play it somewhere else in there. But you definitely don't start it in that place. Have people come in there and then turn off the
To
reason
watch
they
that fight and then turn it
yeah,
off.
turn off the reason they came in so that they can laugh at me and or hate me. And so
Hate
I go
you.
up, I go up, I try, and it's just people arms crossed, just mad at me, but won't leave, just staring at me, and just I'm getting nothing. They're like just having conversations. Eventually, like, bruh, for real, like 5 tables leave in the middle of my set at some point. Just all leave. But like, good, you should have fucking left an hour ago.
Yeah.
Like, you should have never been in here. Like, a comedy is trying to happen in here. And so yeah, so that was that experience. I had to deal with the
I'm
whole
trying to
table
bring joy
leaving.
to the people, you dumb assholes.
I botched I you fucking assholes, I'm trying to be nice to you. And so I botched like I ain't been on stage in 4 months. I forget a part of the two donut joke that I've done forever and ever and ever. And I piece it together. I make it make sense. And like, it's still, it just there was a lot left out, but it's still, the joke still hit. But my favorite part was I forgot to do the whole like bless your heart thing. And
Yeah.
this like really made me feel good. There was actually a couple in the crowd that fucking came to see me, and I did that goddamn joke, and the whole table realized that I didn't do bless your heart, and they going, "Bless your heart." And dude, I almost cried. I couldn't, but I was like, "Have you seen me?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we've seen you." And they were like, "We love that joke." I quit talking to the rest of the crowd. I just started talking to them about
Well,
you.
thank you.
No, thank you. You really like me? You really think I got a shot at this? Do you? No
I'm
way.
good, right?
Oh, good, right? Yeah. And yeah, I had that moment. So
Hey, you're smart. No way.
no way, huh? And yeah, the last show was the best show because you know why it was the best show? It had the least amount of people in there, and every person that was in there was actually there for the show. And so I got to from the beginning perform comedy. I didn't have to like get the room together for 10 minutes, get them to like me on my last joke, and then go, "All right, now for the next guy." Like, I actually got to, and I was so like worked up about missing that two donuts joke that I fucking laid into it hard. It might have been my best performance of the joke, honestly. And
Fucking right.
yeah, but yeah, I got to experience the whole thing. It was all surreal and funny to me. I got to stay in a nice hotel. I got to say goodbye to stand-up comedy on my terms. But yeah, it was weird. And people were wearing masks, watching the show, and I
They
got
didn't
to do
try to hide
comedy
it in their
again.
pocket like a couple of whiny bitches, huh?
Nah, this
They
room would
tinted
have
up and
just
wore their mask.
nah, this room. They got their big bras on and went in there. and wore their
I'm sticking with
mask.
that analogy from now on. I'm sticking with that analogy.
There's no better one. I can tell you that.
So, do you remember last week I told you I got my new Sherlock pipe in?
Yep.
It's gone.
What?
Yeah, it fell off of. All right, so we're gonna get into my neighbor again. He's getting
Yeah.
tricky.
Dude, a lot of people worried about it. I got a lot of messages. I know you got messages too of like how funny that story was.
Yeah.
People, yeah, that's
All
fucking
right. Well,
crazy.
okay. I've made a decision with. I've made a decision that uh I'm never gonna acknowledge anything that happens outside of exactly when it happens with him. Now, let me
Okay.
clarify. He bought. So he started sneaking around the fence again. I saw him behind the fence,
Bruh. Bruh, get a fucking
and I was
life.
out. I was out watering my garden. Let me show you this. This is just some nerd shit for you. That's a watermelon. That's a watermelon that we
Oh, look
fucking
at
grew.
you.
Look at that.
Look at you,
Huh?
man. That's amazing.
Yeah, dude, I ate okra, banana peppers, jalapenos, and green onions from my
Oh,
garden in a. It was great. Anyway,
oh man.
so
When the
I was
world
watering the
ends,
garden.
when the world ends, some right wing fucks can come over with all their guns and take your vegetables.
Yep. Good luck. Good luck. I got a garden growing veggies, and I got one over here growing whey protein. So fucking come and get
Woo!
some. So I saw him sneaking around the fence again the other day, and I was watering the garden, so I just started spraying the fence.
Yeah, he's the
Uh,
one creeping around your fence. You're not
exactly.
wrong. You're not the weird one
Right.
there.
So I just sprayed the fence, and I heard him, and then I could see the fence. It's a fence with crack. I can fucking see you. So I just kept spraying until he was gone. Uh, this sounds like I'm making it up, but this old fuck went and bought a selfie stick, and
Dude, what are you saying right now?
he went and bought a selfie stick, and he went behind in the back of our fence, and I saw a phone come up over our fence. And I went inside and I got a can of foam and wasp spray. And I just walked over and I soaked the phone with it. And then I threw the can over the fence. Like over the fence. Like an entire
Why'd you do
can of
that?
foaming wasp spray onto his phone. And then threw the can over the fence. And I know for goddamn sure I hit him because when I threw it over the fence, I heard think and then it bounced right back up to where I could see it. So I know I bounced it off his old fucking head.
Yeah.
And then he scurried away with probably a ruined phone. And I just I just popped my head over the fence and just looked, and I saw him like a wounded animal just running back across his yard where his girlfriend was waiting in the back.
With open arms. What did that bad man
Come
do to
back
you?
to me. I was waiting for her to like have her face painted and like night vision goggles on. But
Because you're such a problem in the neighborhood. You know, like
I don't even listen to music in my backyard without headphones in because my dog barks a lot. Our new dog Daisy barks a lot, and I don't want to bug our neighbors.
yeah.
So I try to keep, but I'm a 40-year-old adult man, and I'm gonna smoke in my backyard if I fucking want to. So I wasted a whole bottle of wasp. I didn't waste it. It was the best use of wasp
No,
spray that's ever
yeah,
happened.
that
But
is
dude,
not wasted at all.
until you sprayed some assholes trying to narc on you by sneaking around the backyard of your fence and ruining your smoke time with a whole bottle of foam wasp spray onto his expensive iPhone and brand new selfie stick, you don't know what living is.
Dude.
My dick got so hard the second I did it.
I hope to live
and-
half the life that you've lived.
So I see him yesterday. What's today? Friday? Yesterday, day before morning. After all of this happened. The day after all of this happened, I see him in the driveway of the house and I'm walking the dog. And I stopped in the road in his driveway and I turned dead still. I was walking this way and I stopped and I turned and faced him and I just stared at him until he went inside. I didn't say a word. I didn't move.
I don't understand why is this man
I
not
stood in the
packing up
street and
his
stared
shit?
until he went inside.
This man should
It's
be
not
packing
even
up
his house.
shit. and going,
It's his girlfriend's mother's house that he visits
take
sometimes.
the L, dude. Take the L. All right, you're not gonna win this.
Um,
You're a
when I hear
fucking
him coming,
lunatic. That's crazy. You're just gonna be hiding around, dude. If I just, I mean, I
what
live in an apartment
what are you
complex.
gonna do?
Let me just be just outside my apartment's, like my neighbor's door, just standing around. Am I in the right? How could you possibly be like,
Right.
no? Because in there, where it's their own goddamn place and they're minding their own goddamn business, they're doing something I
Right.
don't like. So it's okay for
Right.
me to be a fucking creeper and he's
The
stalking you.
the state we live in, if I shot him through my fence with a shotgun for peeking over it, I'm
Yeah,
right.
stand your ground. Stand your ground.
I'm not going to because it's way more fun. I've been batting rotten apples over the fence when I think he's back there. Like I throw him up and hit him with a bat so it just shatters all over the place back there, just if I think he's back there. But not gonna lie to you, the stand in the street and staring at him until he went inside made me feel like a badass.
That's a pretty
Because
badass move. Yeah.
I didn't know if he was gonna say anything, but I decided that I wasn't. I'm just not gonna talk anymore. Like I had my glasses on and I just sat there and stared from the street. And he was in his he was unloading his car and he was sitting that stuff down. He just watched me. He grabbed his stuff. He just like backed up the driveway. He turned around. He just went and I
I
never moved.
I want to interview this man and hear
He's
his
gonna kill me.
side. I want to hear his
Oh,
side of all of this. I want to
it's way different. And then this fucking psycho just stood there like he sprayed me with wasp spray.
I'm helping my mom out the car, and this dude just looks over at me and goes, "Hey, what's your fucking problem?" And then chases
There's
me
a
into
big
my
scary
house.
looking fuck. He had little short shorts on. I'm waiting on him to get a drone.
So you can
And
shoot it down.
all right, I googled if you can shoot drones down over your property, and technically you can, and if they're filming, based off of what I read. And if what I read is a lie, we'll find out in a little while.
Well, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. I don't know. The wasp spray might have. What the fuck are you doing, old man? God. But I think it's. I just wanted to, instead of trying to be intimidating, like yelling at him and taking my shirt off, screaming, I decided I'm just gonna never say another word because I think that's way creepier.
I mean, play around with it, dude. You got
I'm gonna try a whole bunch of stuff.
It could go
Yeah.
anywhere, dude. Use it as a workshop.
I'm gonna try
you
a
know?
whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna try to fuck him.
See how that goes.
I'm gonna start showing him my butthole every time he picks over the fence.
Oh, wait 1 second, and then just pull down your pants.
Hold on, bro. Is this
You
what
smell
you want?
dope? Oh, yeah, actually, hold on. And then just.
Nah, that's my butthole.
Oh, man, it's my butthole again. It's
So I
always
got
my
my Sherlock
butthole.
pipe. I was really excited about it. I've been using it outside, pissing him off, having a great time. And I said it. I've been super careful to not drop it. I ordered the Sherlock one that sits flat, so I'm like, it won't break. I'm good. And I set it on the counter far enough away that it wouldn't fall off, getting ready to grind up and load some more tobacco into it. And a fly lands on our counter, and I take a fly swatter and I swat the fly.
Mm-hmm.
And I set the fly swatter down. And then Henry picks up the fly swatter and hits next to it. And the air from the fly swatter, the pipe just went whoop, right off my island. And it hit once and didn't break. And I was like, oh, thank God. And then it bounced like this high. And then when it hit again, it just went boom. Just like a blooming onion just broke. And my heart broke. I've never broke a pipe before.
I've never had one break either.
And then I'm like, well, that's no big deal. I have my little spoon pipe that I've had since you got me into drugs.
Yeah, I
Since you
remember whenever
started
I
me on
forced you to
drugs.
do drugs that time. I remember you were like
You
all
made me,
straight and didn't want
and
to
I
do
didn't
it,
want to.
and I fucking tied
I
you
was
down. And
I was the kind of good kid who didn't even bring porno mags to high school.
right.
So
And then I took off my belt and tightened it around your wrist and shot heroin
shot
straight
it up.
into
Yep.
your stream. I remember. Yeah. I'll
Hey,
take.
you
I'll
wrote a
take
letter that talked about it, so I'll call your mom and tell her.
I'll take that because honestly, you're funnier now because you're on drugs. That's the way funny works. Okay, so
So I get my grav pipe, and I'm like, all right, at least I still have a pipe, so I'm good. And then I load it up. and I go to walk out of the door, and I
Oh
trip,
no! Oh no! Oh no!
and it just out of my hand and hits the ground, and it doesn't break, it doesn't explode. So I'm like, oh, thank God, it's okay. It chipped the corner of the bowl, like right here,
Mm-hmm.
just enough all the way through that there was no. So I had like 2 carbs, and one of them was sharp and glassy, and I just felt brokenhearted, and I didn't know, is the
That's a
rock
tough
shop
day.
open,
That's a tough
or
day.
do I have to go to one of those weird gas stations that also sells a whole bunch of
They
knives and
sell
crazy lighters?
$15 pipes and stuff. And yeah,
Everybody knows those gas stations though,
I
and
bought a bunch of. I buy grinders from there a lot because I buy just like
I
cheap
just got a new
grinders.
grinder.
Oh, nice!
I just got a new grinder.
Look at that.
I got a big one.
That's a good
Yeah,
grinder too.
yeah, it's awesome. Travis, not Travis, 6'9" Travis, another Travis, had one
Elkins.
like that I liked.
Mm.
Yeah.
We talked about Travis. Golf Travis.
I know, but I didn't want to say Travis Elkins showed me this grinder for his weed.
Oh, I mean, we could probably call him up right now, and he would he would tell it. He'd
I don't want
admit
to put
it.
him on the spot.
That motherfucker.
So I broke my other pipe, and I was heartbroken, and I was without a pipe for 20 minutes, and it's the scariest time of my entire life. That's all I
That's
want to
pretty
say.
tough. I just wanted to bitch
I was
about
terrified.
I just wanted to bitch about Travis real quick. This dude was like, bro, his wife is a doctor, and so I'm like, yo, all the doctor friends, I'll date them all. Where are they at? And so he calls me up. He's like, you want to meet a hot single doctor today? And I was like at his house before
Yeah,
before
before the
my
text
text
was
message
finished.
got there. And
The bubbles came up on the text from your reply, and then you were knocking on the door.
yeah. Yeah, basically I'm just mad at him because this girl wasn't even single. We had this whole dinner like with him and his wife, and then she came over, and I mean, luckily I wasn't like aggressive or anything. I just kind of was like being friendly. And then hey, all right, hey, nice to meet you, whatever. I got to go because I had to work the next day. And I was like, wow, that was really nice. You seemed sweet or whatever. And Travis texted me immediately like, sorry, bro, she has a girlfriend. Like, you motherfucker. I just put on all that
Did he
charm
not
for
know
nothing.
that?
I guess he didn't.
I put on all that. I was nice to her for fucking nothing.
Had nothing. Just telling stories. Just man, I was telling all my best lies. Just I had them rolling and to save some of that. All right, man. Let's fucking end this shit. We fucking killed it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Write us a review on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. I appreciate it. Dude, look, for real.
Check us out on social media. Follow me on Twitter so that I have more Twitter followers so that when I talk shit, it means more to people.
Right. Yeah, I think
Aaron Watts.
Josh will admit this. He'll say this too. We've really been enjoying all the feedback you guys have been giving us. We've been getting a lot of people
great.
telling us how much they love the show, and that means the fucking world to us. We're going to keep doing these forever. So thanks.
Yeah, it is. Thanks a lot. We've gotten a lot of messages from people that just tell us they enjoy the show and what they like about it. A couple that tell us what they don't like about it, which is not as
once again, we've talked about it. Don't do that.
We get it. Yeah, we get it. Just
we're trying our best. Okay.
Good. We're trying. All right. I bought lights. You fucks. But thanks a lot for all the feedback, the good feedback. The rest of it's not been cool. Barrett, I ordered that Andre the Giant book on Amazon. So
there it is. All right, guys. See y'all next week.
Fucking mouth shut.
Bye.